something is killing the children is hot again? We'll tell you why. Marvel's Ultimate line is making a comeback? Is Hallows Eve the next big thing in comics? And what Spider-Man title hit the #1 spot today? It's not what you think. All this and a giveaway at tonight's pull list. See you there. Excelsior. I'm getting an echo. Are you hearing an echo?
You sound good to me. It's because of Instagram.
Is it because of Instagram? Because I hear myself twice, but I don't know. Do you hear you hear myself? You hear me twice?
I hear you once. You sound fine to me.
What about you guys in the chat? Do you hear me twice?
Chat's asleep.
Okay, so Ralph is hearing no echo, so I'm going nuts hearing myself then in some weird way. But chat's asleep. Yeah. So I have I'm trying to figure out if I have the page open somewhere, and it's driving me nuts, man. Oh boy. So let me see here. So what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Izzyverse. It's me, Izzy, and we got a great show for you guys. How's it going, Josh?
Listen, I go away for 1 week. And the blatant disrespect, the travesty, the sham mockery that was last week's show, and now we have a hashtag for Bubble Boy Josh. I'll have you know. I have
Josh,
a great...
Josh, why are you joshing, bro? Why are you joshing?
Not only am I alive, I am better than others because I have a great constitution, I'll have you know. Furthermore, what's all this nonsense I hear last week about, Josh has a boring pull list? Who asked you? Who asked you?
Did I say that? Did I say that?
Yes. I watched the replay. Well, let me tell you what happened for everyone who cares.
I try not to watch replays. I'm too busy listening to myself talk right now.
Sure. But I mean, I obviously was not feeling well. There was no way I could do the show. But I said, let me take an aspirin. Let me go lay down, and I'll watch some Izzyverse live. Why not? I closed my eyes for 2 seconds, and it's 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, oh, what's going on?
Well, you're watching it at 10 o'clock at night.
I watched a little bit later that night and then some the next day, but I missed the whole thing.
Okay. No, it was a fun show. So we got a lot to talk about, man. So let's first talk about the news from last week, right? With Amazing Spider-Man. Because I have some feelings.
But you want to start with the... You want to go straight to the top.
I want to go straight to it because not since one more day did I feel so upset.
Hey, every feeling is valid. But
exactly. So with One More Day, obviously they erased the marriage of Mary Jane and Spider-Man. Spoiler alert for a comic book that came out how long ago?
It's like 20 years.
Has it been 20 years since that book came out?
Coming up on 20 years.
Wow. So not since that book, not since then have I been so angry about a Spider-Man title. And now we have something again. And that is in the latest issue of Spider-Man, which is I got this issue. I got this one. This is a variant, which I thought was cool. I told you I was gonna get you this one. I was gonna get this one.
Yep.
There's a scene where Spider-Man is talking to Black Cat. You got okay, that's the version you got. Okay. There is an issue that I have.
He's
Okay.
talking to Black Cat. He tells Black Cat, I love Mary Jane as a sister. What kind of garbage is that?
So
Okay, you got a chance to read the book. I'm
I
ready
did.
to rip the book up.
Understandable.
I didn't get a chance to read it, so I'm going to go based on what you're telling me.
Yes. So, like everything else in life, context matters. Okay. You shouldn't read a panel out of context and then rip up your books. I'm just gonna give that unsolicited advice. just just read the whole book. But I'll help out a little bit with the synopsis for you and for anyone in chat who doesn't follow Spider-Man religiously.
Aurelis
So-
says it best. Oh, hell no.
Well, I don't know. So, all right. So right now, this is issue 20 of Amazing Spider-Man Volume 6. Between the end of Volume 5 and the beginning of Volume 6, something happened off screen that we still don't know what happened. But the end result is that Mary Jane is married to some new character named Paul, and they have 2 kids.
Yes.
So, like, and this happened in the span of 6 months, according to the book.
Yes, this was introduced to us in issue 1. I remember that.
So now it's been 20 issues. We still don't know what happened during those 6 months. We have no idea. We don't even know if this is the MJ from the same universe. We have no idea who Paul is. We have no idea if the kids are hers, if they're adopted. Nothing. They could be from Limbo for all we know. Like it's been. We just don't have any information as to why Peter and MJ are worse than not together, but like really far apart.
Yeah.
So at the same time, something that a lot of people haven't been following up on is that there's another book happening at the same time, which is Mary Jane and Black Cat, and that is they're still in the dark web timeline. So dark web is still happening in that book, which is just had issue 3 out of 6. And what it seems like that book is all about is essentially Black Cat sort of is going to admit to MJ that they're dating now, and they've been dating since issue 6 of this current
Okay.
arc. So so with all that in mind, right? It's not insane to me that Peter would say that he loves MJ as a friend or as a sister because he's really going through an extended breakup, and people say things they don't mean. And he's got Felicia in front of him. They're out in the middle of the wilderness. There's a lot of hormones going on. So this panel by itself, I'm still in let's wait and see mode. But on the other side of this, you cannot introduce a plot thread and not address it for 20 issues in the year 2023. That is totally unacceptable. It's been
so you could introduce it in '90s with the X-Men Traitor story that they had no idea who the traitor was.
This is what we were talking Friday about comics, and this is what I was trying to say. Like it seems like this current editorial staff, they think everything from the 90s was the greatest thing that happened to comics. So when they look at Spider-Man, they're like, well, why don't we just do what the Clone Saga did and have this long-running storyline that spans multiple titles, and you have to read everything, and then at the end of it, you still might not understand what fully happened, and the characters don't get a proper ending and send-off. That kind of seems what they want to do here. They're just like, yeah, we'll just keep stringing it out. I have a problem with that. That's just not how good comics are done nowadays. You got to have a beginning. You got to have a middle. You got to have an end. And I understand they want to keep the characters young. They want to keep them. They want to keep them in the same state that they are when you picture Peter Parker, which is mid-20s, broke, and if sort of singles, having issues. So that's what they're going for, but this is not the way to do it.
But here's the thing, and this is where I have issues. I agree with you entirely in that. But what I have issues today with what didn't happen then is that characters in the comics at that time, before, let's just say, the 2000s, because really the 2000s started it, right? Current comics before the 2000s didn't, the characters never aged, and it was accepted that they stood the same age throughout the entire run, right? So Spider-Man 1 to really the 300s, he aged, yes, and there was a sign of age because he got married and all that stuff, but he was still relatively young.
Right.
So, 30 years of comics ended. 30 years of comics was a span of about 10 years of lifetime. Comic book.
He basically went from high school through grad school.
Exactly, and it's and they seem to have a problem today with that. And not just Marvel, DC has that same problem where they're just like, oh, reboot, because you're aging them way too fast, and that's why you're rebooting them. I think that's what's happening now. Everybody has a kid. Everybody has a son. Superman has a kid. Batman has a kid. Spider-Man had a daughter, but that's alternate storyline. Alternate. So that's I think that's the problem that's happening, is that we're too busy letting them age with us at a rapid pace, and I think they're aging even faster in the comics than they are as more than so. So. Good conversation. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. But as you know, our hashtag is Bubble Boy Josh. Bubble Boy Josh. That's the hashtag for the day. But let's get started. And it wasn't IG that was the problem. Is I had YouTube playing in the background, and unfortunately, IG's gone, so we can't do IG today anymore. So we'll try again at a later time. Actually, you know what? I could probably pull it off again. Let me see if I can pull it off. But in the meantime, what else we got going on? So we got a lot of stuff going on. So let's get into the hot list while we're at it, because I got some stuff to talk about. Boo, Clone Saga. You don't like the Clone Saga? Anyway,
they literally brought Ben Reilly back.
Yeah. Let's see what's hot. All right, we got a lot of stuff to talk about here, so let's talk about it, man. So here is the Trending 20 from Key Collector app. It should be a fun show. It should be a fun top 20, man. These books are pretty interesting. So getting started with the first book, Held to Pay, issue number 1. This book has only been around for a little time. It hasn't been around for that long. It's a story of a married couple, in debt and Shroud's college, utilizing bestowed upon them to track down cursed coins known as the Devil's Dollar. Now, what makes this book so important is that this book has seen a significant increase since its debut, but it has been adapted for a TV series by one of the co-creators of Family Guy, Seth MacFarlane. So, interested in watching it?
No.
Simple answer. What's up, Anthony? How you doing? Okay. And this is why you're part of the show. Because I could do this stuff with you, right? All right. So, yeah, I think for what it's worth, it's okay. It's a fun book. It's a nice image book. It's by Charles Schulz, who's currently writing 8 Billion Genies, which of course I consider it to be the best book right now. I love that book. So Held to Pay is just another one of those titles. This one you could probably still pick it up at very low cost, but it's rapidly moving into a almost too hard to pick up. So there you have that book. Let's see here. I'm gonna try to get my guys over at Instagram here, because I knew what happens. So apparently that's how Instagram works. So let's get your IG folks over here. Next book in the list is Hellboy. Hellboy The Crooked Man issue number 1. That book is also another book that was optioned for a movie. So, okay, I like Hellboy. I like the first movie. I really like the second movie. The last movie, however, what did you think?
I think I've only seen the first one and like the first half of the second one,
Yeah.
and it was like, all right, these, I don't know, it didn't move. The comics are great because of the art. Mike
Yeah,
Mignola
Mike
art.
Mignola is awesome, man.
He's I think we talked about this before, like artists that you just look and you know it's them. He's one of those few.
Yeah.
But the movie was just kind of like, it's okay.
Well, the last one was they went with a hard R for it. They had a pretty good actor in David Harbour, which I heard he did a really good job, but the movie just sucked.
Mm.
And this is what they said. They said that in this movie, in this coming movie, that Mike Mignola is going to be more involved. You know what? They said that with the last Hellboy movie.
They always say that. Like,
So I don't buy into that. Anyway, moving to our next book, talking about Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man #7. This one was back in 2014. I can't even tell you which volume it is, but the purpose for this book, it features the first appearance of Billy Braddock, Spider UK. All right. What's your thoughts on that one?
sure. I mean, so those issues are a little hard to find. That little run there.
Yeah.
But I mean, good for Billy Braddock. Is he going to be in the movie or whatever?
Well, that's of course it always boils down to the rumor, right? The rumor mill. So the rumor mill has it, which I don't know how I feel about this one, but what the heck, right? What's up, Trev? The rumor mill has it that Henry Cavill will be portraying Spider-Man UK for a Sony project, but it has not been verified. That's the horn said it all. The horn said it all.
Pure Twitter speculation and totally irrelevant. I'm not specking on this. I mean, I haven't, so good for me.
Good for you. So that's the big deal about that book. All right, moving to another book that's been on the spec market for quite some time is Vault of Spiders #1. This features not just the first appearance of Spider Bite, which is a cyberspace vigilante Spider-Man or Spider Girl. All right. What's up, Comic Book Report, Trev, Samuel? I see you guys, man. Comic Book Report. I love Comic Book Report. There's a channel you got to watch. That's one of them. He does these nice reviews. So great job, guys. This one features the first appearance of Web Slinger, which is the cowboy version of Spider-Man. Features Savage Spider-Man, which is an alternate reality who was raised by spiders in the Savage Land. That's actually pretty cool. But Vault of Spider-Man has been in the hunt for a while. We're going to be looking at that book quite frequently. Another book that is high on demand is Avengers Annual 21. This features the first appearance of Kang as Victor Timely. Now, we talked about this book last week. Have you had a chance to see Ant-Man yet?
I didn't see it. No.
Are you planning to?
So a lot of people say it's bad. So
it's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad.
Well, I don't know if it's worth a movie ticket, so we might wait. That might be a Disney Plus watch.
Okay, it'll be out soon. What, 45 days or something like that? That's the rule of thumb now.
Before you blink.
Yeah, before you blink. All right, so this one features. This is a Avengers Annual, the Citizen Kang storyline, and you know what? What makes this book hot right now and on demand really has everything to do with not just with Kang and the version of Kang, which is Victor Timely. It has everything to do is that there's not a lot of slabs for this book. I think there's less than 100 slabs from the time we're talking about it. So this book is getting shipped out like there's no tomorrow. But it also means it's a dollar bin, and if you go to an LCS, you might find it. Yep. So do your hunting there for that book. That's a book you wanna pick up. Next book is Giant Size Avengers issue #2, another Kang spec. This features the origin of Ramatut. Sure, why not? This book goes for $180.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good amount of money. or a book. Goes back to 1974. Right. Also, this book features Hawkeye joining the Avengers. Not bad, right?
Very cool.
Cool. A book that came out back in 2014, which I'm glad to say I have my copy, is Ultimate Fantastic Four #1. This features the first appearance of the ultimate version of the Fantastic Four. And now, as part of our video, we did talk a little bit about one of the things I did mention is the Ultimate Universe is making its comeback. It is returning, right? So have you heard about this?
I did. We usually don't talk about new solicits, but yeah, we definitely heard Ultimates is back. I think Hickman is writing it.
Hickman,
So,
and not just Hickman, but it's going to have Brian Hitch back.
so I mean, that if that doesn't sell, like, what are we doing here, people? Like, go buy that book.
Yeah, so I think this is the first book that's on the radar, which is the Ultimate Fantastic Four book, right? But I also think that the Ultimates should be in the radar, especially since it's drawn by Brian Hitch.
Yeah.
So I think that book should be spec'd on. The reason why this one is being spec'd on is because the Ultimate version of Reed Richard, he kind of goes a little nutty and becomes the what's it called, the Master?
Yeah, he's younger. This is also from the run with Marvel Zombies. So there's, but I think it has Greg Land art. So
This Greg Lang does join it. I do believe that. Well, this is a cover by Brian Hitch. I can tell you that much. But Greg Land does do some of the work, and say what you want to say about Greg Land. That's all I got to say. All right, another book that's hot these days is Marvel's #1. This is, believe it or not, for those of you who don't know, this is where Alex Ross got his big break in this book. This was the book that made Alex Ross a household name. Well, pretty much getting there, right? This is a story about a journalist, and it's a story of the Marvel Universe from a perspective of a journalist. Really cool story. I really like this story. And of course, it's Alex Ross. The whole book is painted by Alex Ross. I'm glad to say I also have a copy of that book too. So happy to me. And the only reason why this book is in the list is because Alex Ross is going to be doing a CGC signing, so people are going crazy trying to get this book.
Okay,
that's the big reason. That's the #1 reason. All right. Another book in the list is All New, All Different Avengers. This story came out in 2016, so it's not that old. Another book that you might be able to find in the dollar bin somewhere, but look for it quickly because it's going to disappear. Because yes, more Kang spec as it is known. You know what I'm saying? So if you love your Kang, you got to get your complete Kang. Because I think we're going to be talking about Kang for a very long time. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, specking on Kang, like, they've announced the title of the Avengers movie to be the Kang Dynasty for like a while now. So it's amusing to me that there are more Kang specs showing up as if these books weren't already around. But hey, more power to you guys.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what the reason why this book is at. It has another Kang story. This one features the first appearance of Mr. Gyrophon. It's hard to say his name. A version of Kang who runs Quang Enterprises. So it's just another version of Kang. It also features the debut of Iron Man Model 52 armor. Sweet. All right. But that's the reason for this book. And of course, Avengers 269. I wonder what that's going to be about. It's a Kang book, guys. It's another Kang book. It's the origin of Kang and Kang as Ramatut, but it features the battle of Kang versus Immortus.
Oh.
Ooh. Yeah, Kangs amongst Kangs. Fighting against Kangs.
Kang.
So, Kang Watch. All right, moving on to the other books here. You got Avengers 52. This came back way out in 1968. This features Black Panther joining the Avengers, but it's also the first appearance of the Grim Reaper, who happens to be the brother of Wonder Man. So, what's that all about?
All I know is I have Wonder Man #1, so let's go.
The Jim Johnson one?
I don't know. I just have it.
It's Wonder Man, and it's kind of like a sky blue background.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
He's wearing
the Jim Johnson. I also have a copy of that book.
Very
So
cool.
I'm pretty sure that book's going to show up in this list sooner or later.
Yeah.
So it actually was a few months ago. So it'll probably make a return. But really, the main factor is that there is plans for a Wonder Man TV series on Disney Plus, and therefore the Grim Reaper being his brother, there is potential for him being in the series. So that's the big reason for that. So, Grim Reaper, not Kang. So I'm okay with that. All right. Another book that's on the list, and unfortunately, it's not in this list that I missed out the opportunity, but I actually got images of the wrong image. Oh no, I see it. Never mind. I take that back. Guys. I have a very small screen right now, so I can't see much. Is Avengers 2? You know what this is? It's another Kang book.
Hangs.
Which leads us to Avengers 10, which is the first appearance of Immortus, which leads us to Avengers 268, which is the story that ties in, you got it, the Kang Dynasty.
Amazing.
Are you seeing a pattern here, guys? All right, but we do get a little hiccup in between, and that is War of the Realms, New Agents of Atlas #1. This book is now seeing a high of $50. It came out, the book that people are looking for is for the third printing of this book. Why is third printing such a big deal? It's just a thing these days. I don't know. It's Kang, not Krang.
Krang. That's different.
That's the turtles, dude. That's the little pink guy. All right. So the Agents of Atlantis, the purpose behind that is that there is rumor that they're going to be part of the next Shang-Chi movie, the next installment of Shang-Chi. So only time will tell if that's actually the case. I find it interesting that it is the third printing that people are searching for, only because there's 1,450 copies available. So who knows? All right. 267, first appearance of the Council of Kangs. Whew. But a new book that came out, which actually I did like this cover, Thor 31. This book literally just came out this past week. It just happens to be a nice cover, by Russell Tatterman, which features a whole bunch of different versions of Thor. Cool cover. Good book to have. All right. A book that I personally like is the Lunar Distribution retail exclusive of Superman #1. This is a foil book. It's currently going for $30. You probably get in the aftermarket for like $50 now, and it's probably just going to keep on climbing, because it is a nice cover. It's nice foil. And the only thing about this book that I would say is that if you get a damaged copy, you should be able to get a better copy. So if you contact Lunar, they'll exchange it for a better copy. So my question is, how limited are these books? Who knows, right? Next book on this list is Lazarus Planet Omega. This is the variant cover with Power Girl, done by Helene Lenobel. If I'm butchering the name, my apologies, guys, but that's the name here that I have. Apparently, these Power Girl covers, people are going crazy over them.
Yeah, Power Girl. Well, so I know you didn't read it, but they give Power Girl telepathy. So who knows where they're going with that?
Well, I know in Action Comics, the Power Girl story really isn't that great, but the covers are.
Yeah.
So we'll see with that. And finally, Immoral X-Men #1. This is the 1 in 50 Marks Brooks cover. Of course, it's White Queen. Who doesn't want a White Queen cover? Or Emma Frost, or whatever you want to call it this week.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Just as Nathan would pointed out. Woohoo! All right, so those are your trending 20 from Key Collector. Now we're going to go into the CBSI covers, books of the week. Now, this one's literally all over the place. Did you get a chance to look at this list yet, Josh?
What do you prepare for the show?
This one is one of those lists that I cannot explain.
All right. What do we have here?
So we got Amazing Fantasy 2002. Don't get this wrong. 2002, number 15. So there's this rumor that Stephen Yang is gonna be in another MCU project, and the rumor has it that he's going to play Marvel Boy.
Okay.
Exactly. He might be a little too old for this role. I'm just saying, you're gonna call Stephen Yang a boy. So
I mean, we're always complaining that Marvel doesn't want to age their characters.
well, when it's live action, it's a little different here. Get them while they're young, man. Stephen Young. I'm just saying.
Context.
All right, so that's the book that's there. That's number 10. Number 9 is Essentia issue number 3. There's a cover here. This is interesting by Wake Entertainment. So people are looking for that book. Number 8, Marvel Boy number 1, as I mentioned to you. This book, I actually do have this book. It's a pretty fun book by J.G. Jones and Grant Morrison. Marvel Boy is a cool character. With this version of Marvel Boy is really cool. It's kind of like he's very much like a Damian Wayne type character. So that's what makes this one interesting. So, that's some good stuff. Then we have here number 7, the Superman number 1 Jamal Campbell cover. As I mentioned before, that's on the list. Number 6 is Vault of Spider-Man, the variant edition. Number 1, the Marcos variant edition, which we talk a little bit more about the whole, Spider Bite, which is the one that everybody's looking for, Spider Bite. This book was in the list last week. Invincible Iron Man, the second printing 1 in 25 variant, Bob Latson cover. So now it's going up to $70. Lazarus Planet, Omega number 1. This is the Len Noble 1 in 50 variant, the Power Girl variant. So again, we talked about it. Number 3, Something's Killing the Children, issue number 1. This book was the hottest book a few years ago. It is hot again.
It's hot. So if you're on Whatnot, people are always asking for this, and good for them.
Good for that. Well, it's good. I've read the story. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure it's great.
It had a low print run, and the book is extremely hot. And the reason why it's back on the list now, it has everything to do that it finally got picked up for Netflix. So we will see at least one season. We never know with Netflix. We never know. But my only curiosity is, will they name the show Something's Killing the Children?
Yeah, they will. Yeah.
You think so? You can't post it on. You can't write it on like the socials. You have to actually write the initials.
There's some crazy shows on Netflix. I don't think that would be a problem. I think it was okay.
They call it SIKT.
Yeah. No, when I first saw it, I thought there was some Wolverine book floating around.
Uh-huh.
But that's Snicked, not Sticked.
Snick.
So,
oh, you thought it.
So they might do that.
All right. So, love you too, Nate. I see that he says I'm calling away. The second book is Cerebus in Hell, Cancel America number 1. I remember talking about this book last week, and now it's number 2 on the hot list. It's really I think it's meant to be a political book, so I think that's the reason why people are searching for it. But yeah, if you're into political comics, then I guess that's a book for you. Mm-hmm. Me personally, I could do without. You know what I mean? I don't need to deal with the toxicity of politics these days. Everybody has their opinion, and nobody wants to share it. Everybody wants to share it. So that's not what this show is about, guys. This is about comics.
So you're not getting the AOC book?
The AOC book?
Yeah. There's a book where she's like the hero. She's like, it should be on the pull list. It's on there somewhere.
All right, we'll take a look at it. All right, and number 1, of course, no surprise here, The Last of Us, American Dream number 1, which is the first comic book of The Last of Us um, video game that is now a TV series. I'm behind about an episode, but I'm loving the show, dude. I am absolutely loving the show. Did you even get a chance to see any episodes?
No.
It's a good show, man. It's worth watching.
Cool.
Definitely worth watching. So those are your CBSI Hot 10 lists. Let's go and talk a little bit about Cover Price. Cover Price just came out today. So for those of you who haven't had a chance to take a look at the Cover Price top 10, here they are. And a lot of new, a lot of old in this list. Starting with the Vault of Spiders, #1, the Marcos Martin version. That's the variant. That one here, again, Spider Bite. That's the big reason. #9, a book that just doesn't want to ever go away, which is considered the #1 modern key of the world, and that is Ultimate Fallout #4. Obviously, this book is on this list because of the whole Ultimates returning. That's the reason why it's on this list. However, the top weekly sale for this book was for $2,040. Something, right? That's what miles do to you. All right. #8 is a book that just came out, which is Blue Book. This is the David Johnson Virgin variant, the 1 in 10 variant. This book is going about $15. So it's based off of true events regarding alien abductions. So I picked up a copy, but I haven't had a chance to read a copy yet. Did you get the chance to read it yet?
No, I'm gonna pass on this. I realize I can always just watch X-File reruns.
And the book we talked about last week, but you didn't get a chance to talk about, Superman Batman issue #8. This one is the Michael Turner, Jeff Loeb book. I personally I believe I have 2 copies of this book. I have a black and white version, and I got the color version. What do you think? What's your thoughts on this? Specking on this book?
I mean, specking. The market is sort of in a downturn. So if you're specking, you better be really confident. That's all I'm going to say.
The only thing I love this book, and I think the artwork's gorgeous because Michael Turner's artwork is beautiful. The only thing that I'm a little confused about is that this is just a reintroduction of Supergirl. It's not a first appearance of Supergirl. It's not in relationship to the Flash movie, which is based off the Flashpoint story. It's just, this is the book that people are going crazy for, and it has nothing to do with Flash, but because it's the reintroduction of Supergirl that people are going crazy for, which I don't understand entirely.
Well, there's the Superman Girl movie. Superman Girl. The Supergirl.
That's gonna be an interesting movie, dude.
Yeah. So I think there's a little bit of people sort of grasping at whatever specs they can with her, even though they told us what series it's based off of. I think also, again, like, it doesn't take many sales to create a little uptick in the market.
Yeah,
I'm sure there were not dozens up for sale to begin with, so I'm not losing any sleep over why this is ticking up.
Okay. And #6 is Avengers 267, first appearance of the Council of Kangs. Woohoo! Yeah, more Kang watch. All right, #5, Something's Killing the Children. There goes Erica Slaughter and her gang. I love the book. Like I said, I mentioned this to you before. I think the book is really good. The last sale was almost $1,000 for this book.
Wow.
If Ultimate Follow is the top book, Something's Killing the Children has to be the second top book.
Yeah.
Right. #4, another book here, Avengers Annual 21. The top sale of this book, I talked about this earlier. It's $285 for a book that if you search hard enough, you do dollar bins diving, you might find this book. Right? Because first of all, look at the cover, man. It's not exactly an exciting cover. It's way too busy. Way too busy. Too much going on. But if you do a hard enough search and you go to your LCSs that don't really pay attention to the spec market or things like that, which they always should, but they don't always do, then I suggest you go search this book up if you can find it in 1 or 2 shops. And don't go to your smart shop. Go to the shop that just wants to sell their books. I guarantee you they might have it hanging out there. What's up, Comics by the Bay, Matt? I saw your launch earlier. What's going on? Don't forget to use the hashtag Bubble Boy. No, Bubble Boy Josh. That's our hashtag for the day. Bubble Boy Josh. All right. Because if you don't know it, Josh is right now in a bubble. In case you didn't know, Josh is in
Serenity now.
insanity later. Yes, it is Malibu. It's Malibu Matt. Mark. What's up, Cole? All right. Number 3 in the cover price, Ultimate Fantastic Four. This book is seeing waves of $75, man. That's not bad, right? What would you tell me to do in my book?
Sell it.
Exactly. Everything. Josh is all about selling the books. I love keeping my books. And by the way, in case you guys want, sooner or later, Josh and myself, and maybe a couple of guys, we're going to come and we're going to reorganize our books. Do you want to see a video of us reorganizing my books?
It's going to be a
Might
time.
be a long one.
Let me just give some unsolicited advice to everyone out here when it comes to buying and selling collectibles, okay? And anything that goes up and down the price. Good rule of thumb is leave the last 10% of profit for the next dude. You got something, don't try to time the peak and it's going up. Just sell it. Just sell it. I promise you, a year from now, you'll be able to get it for cheaper. So that's my advice.
There you go. Apparently, Comics by the Bay, he picked Bubble Butt.
It's not that kind of show, guys. It's not that kind of show.
No, this is not Late Night with Vizzy. We'll talk about the late night show later. What's up, nerds? How you doing, my man? All right. Number 2 on our list is Vault of Spiders. That book is going for about $200 now. Not bad, right?
That's for a newer book. That's great.
Yeah. And finally, the book that no one saw coming.
Actually, no one. Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man issue number 5. This book literally came out on Wednesday.
All right. Now, this is the number 1 book as per cover price. Now, remember, I told you cover price, their list comes out on Monday. So this, for many of you, this may be the first time you see this list. Now, Josh, do you know why Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 5 is on the top? It's the number 1 book in cover price?
Because people speculate crazy, but it's it's the last issue of a 5-issue limited series. So the 4th and 5th issues of a limited series like this are always going to be ordered less because the retailers have had time to get their orders in and adjust down. And so this is the last one, but this has the introduction of, the characters showed up in issue 1, but this is sort of their appearance with powers and their superhero persona. And this character, I'm blanking on the name right now, but it's sort of like it looks like a Rocky girl Venom.
Yeah.
Or
Dream Spider is the name.
Dream Spider. So it's like they've got like a Rocky spider suit with like a big oversized spider logo, and they can like do things that are relevant to fighting the bear. So great.
Demon Bear, right?
Demon Bear.
Yeah, Demon Bear's a cool character. So that is the number 1 book in the market. Let me go ahead and remove this. And I'm happy to say that today I did pick up a copy. And I do have a copy right here. Look at that book right there.
Look at that.
Ooh. So this book, I'm actually selling it on eBay. So if you go to eBay, you'll find this book and I'm selling it on eBay. So I could get my monies back for it. I have more than 1 copy. So I got my own personal copy and I got another copy and I am selling it. So if you go on eBay, you'll get to see a copy of the book. You'll get to see a copy of the book. Just go to Izzyverse NYC on eBay and there's your book. I'm selling it for $20 because that's how much it's speccing for. So why not? And I'm sending a raw copy because there are no slabs. So there you have it, guys. Those are your books for this week. Those are your trending books of the week, right? What book are you excited for? Look at that. What the F? That book sold today for $30. That's great. And I'm selling it for 20. So if you're interested, go check it out. All right.
So I just told everyone to sell their books, but everyone in the chat, you go buy. Right now.
All right, guys. So before we move on to our next topic, which is the actual pull list, I'm happy to say that I am now part of the Link Squad. And what's really cool about the Link Squad is all these special things you get it as part of being a member of it. So shout out to DJ Links. We got, I know the guy from Brooklyn. He's a cool guy. He's an actual DJ, and he has some great mystery boxes that he does, which we are going to talking about. We are going to be doing a membership program for the Izzyverse. And with the membership program is where we're going to do more. That's where our giveaways are going to go. So right now you're getting free giveaways. But once we do the membership program, the giveaways are going to be upped in value. So the more people that sign up to the membership, the better the giveaways are going to be. And more importantly, there'll be some perks that go along with it, like original art. There's going to be some shout outs for those of you that are on YouTube. The goal here is is to help each other out. So that's the idea. So I'm going to take this opportunity right now, and you can see it right here. This came directly from the, I made sure that, you didn't get an address, but here's the DJ links. Let's go ahead and open this up. So here we go. We got my little X-Acto knife because I don't want to mess it up, right? Let's find out what DJ links send us.
It's going to be like links of sausage.
Imagine. Links of sausage in this envelope?
Yeah.
Why would there be links of sausages, man?
Because his name is Links.
If y'all had the drum roll. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay. So first things first, we got our card right there. There go DJ Links. There you go, my man. And don't forget, let me make sure I showcase the QR code for you guys. So you can scan the QR code. There it is. Subscribe today. Right? Hauls, mystery boxes, in the mix, channel membership. Right? So that's DJ Link. That's his card. Let's get Josh back in the image here. And let's see what kind of good stuff we got here. So we got here. Let's see here. Oh, got anything else? Okay, we don't got an envelope. We got a bookmark. Look at that, baby. You need your bookmark. All right. Spread the love. It's the Brooklyn way. I'm from the Bronx, so BK. BX to BK. That's my hashtag right there. Right? Link Squad right there. What else we got here? We got some more really cool stickers. Hail Crow. Look at that. Our good friend, Javi Jordan. All right. There you go. The illest. Oh, look at this thing. Illuminati. All right. We got some cool little sticker swags there. Look at that. Let's see. Link Squad. That's awesome. That goes in my comic book box right there. I got two of them. I got another one there. One for me, one for Josh. Like we could put one for Josh. And then we got our Link's skulls. Like, I guess we got old version and new version. So thanks a lot, DJ Links. Really appreciate all the stuff you're giving us. All right. What else we got going on here? Oh, yeah. Another big announcement for all you YouTubers out there. I know you guys love to buy collectibles. I know you love to go get retail exclusives. Well, now I do have great news to share with you. And I have my own promo code for Big Time Collectibles. So if you go to bigtimecollectibles.com, you get 10% off with promo code Izzyverse10. Why is this big deal? Well, remember a comic book that came out not that long ago called Superman #1? Well, just recently, Big Time Collectibles had retail exclusives of foil editions of Superman #1. I'm happy to say that some of my books are coming in. I'm looking forward to it. Some people have already received their books. I'm waiting for my blue foil and my platinum. Hasn't come in yet. It's on its way. I got the shipping. Information for it. So I'm excited. Josh, what did you get from Big Time Collectibles?
What did I try to get? Well,
you did, didn't you? Oh, you're still working on trying to get something, right?
I think it's coming in March now. But so I got a retailer exclusive of Silver Surfer Ghostlight #1, which came out a couple of weeks ago. But it kind of seems like I'm going to get #2 before I get #1. Because there's an issue with the printer. They had to redo all the books. So shout out to BTC for making sure we get good quality book.
I just lost you.
I kind of want to read the book.
Yeah, I lost you for a quick second.
I'm here.
Okay, you're back. So
Okay.
yeah, so Big Time Collectibles, I love to give them. I want to give them a shout out every time they send me something. It is high quality. It's guaranteed a 9.8 or higher. So, when I see that, I leave it right in that box, dude. And we gotta talk about getting those suckers graded. So, who knows? And who knows if once the membership rolls out, I might be able to put a giveaway for a BTC collectible. Wouldn't that be nice? Think about that, guys. Think about that. All right. What else is important? Well, what else is important is that the Bronx Anime and Comic Expo has changed its date. The reason why it changed its date is because it's in a better location. Now this is why I didn't share with you the location just yet. I do have the new location. However, I don't have it with me at this moment. So starting next week, I'll let you know. But if you use the QR code, you'll get 50% off the ticket. So when you get in the, so you don't have to pay the price at the door. There's early bird, VIPs. There's also the regular ticket price, and it's going for $20 at the door, but you can get it for $10 here. So utilize that promo code right there. So for the Bronx Anime and Comic Expo, it's going to be August 26th. More information to come. More guests are going to be arriving. I actually got to talk to a couple of people to find out if they'll be interested in going. So we might actually get more guests coming. So good stuff there. Anyway, let's go ahead before we start doing any more branding stuff. Let's do the pull list. You ready for it?
Let's do it.
All right, the pull list is ready to go. Mario is having a light week this week with 17 titles. What do you think about that, Josh?
Pathetic. Nice.
I know, right? That's just weak, man. But from those 17 titles, there are some good titles that are coming. They're books that definitely are worth checking out. Lots of number ones coming out this week. So let's go ahead and look at them. Starting with Rogue and Gambit #1. That should be a fun book. I'm looking forward to that book. I personally love it when Rogue and Gambit are together. They're best when they're together. When you do a Gambit story by himself, I don't know. I think sometimes it's not as good. When you do a Rogue story by herself, I don't think it's that good. But when you do a Rogue and Gambit story, why not? And this one, what's really good about this one, it's going to be written by Stephanie Phillips. All right. For those of you who don't know who Stephanie Phillips is, she currently writes Grimm. So if you like Grimm, pick up this book. I suggest Rogue and Gambit. Right? They're together and they're fighting against Destiny, another great character who I personally like. So that's a book there. And the art's going to be done by Carlos Gomez. So where can you go wrong? $3.99. Pick it up. And yes, there are plenty of variants of this book. So I'm personally like one of them that I'm going to showcase later. All right. Also this week, now the book that I want to talk about a little bit is the next book, which is Hallows Eve issue #1. All right, let's talk about Hallows Eve. Hallows Eve is the latest character here from the Spider-Man universe. She debuted in the Dark Web storyline. What are your thoughts on Hallows Eve?
Well, so the villain debuted with her powers recently, but this is actually a character all the way from 1995 with the Clone Saga and so on. And she was Janine Godby. She was in Volume 5. She did some things. Look, I'm going to keep this real short and sweet. If this #1 doesn't sell like hotcakes, it's over for her. It's never gonna happen.
I think it's going to sell like hotcakes. The question is, if the story stinks, it's over for her.
I think word will get out real quick if the story is no good. So look, I think the design is great. I think the powers are really creative. You can do a lot of fun things with her abilities. But like you said, at the end, if it's not a good story, if people don't buy it, Marvel's going to take a look and say, we're going to market other characters and we're going to go in a different direction. So
yeah,
This one needs to land. She didn't really make a big splash in Dark Web. So this #1 issue needs to really do well for the limited series to do well, and for us to get more of the character.
Yeah, so she debuted back in which book was it? It was a Spider-Man limited series book, right? Something Hunt.
Yeah.
And she's Ben Reilly's girlfriend.
Yes.
All right. So she debuted back then. I remember that book. The cover kind of sucks. It's John Romita, but it doesn't look like. And I love John Romita, but it just doesn't look like a cover. It looks like a page of a panel. If that says anything, it looks like a panel. It's not a strong cover, but that's where she debuted. The character of Hallows Eve debuted in Dark Web. Am I right?
Yeah. So she got her, or it might have been ASM 14.
Okay.
But yeah, she's her real name is not even Janine Godby, but by the way, yeah, she got her powers. She got the finger of Sim or whatever, some demon powers. So now she can, any mask that she puts on gives her different abilities. So she can potentially become like a Frankenstein type monster, or do all types of crazy things. So there's a lot of power switching. I always like characters like that.
Yeah.
That they have to pick the right power for the right situation. It's a very Marvel way of doing things, where you have a character that has like some real inherent weaknesses in them. But yes, as far as what has she done as Hallows Eve, not much. We saw her in Dark Web, and now we'll see what her plan is now.
Cool. We did a poll, and the poll came out about 10 hours ago. But from the poll, 42% of you guys said that she may be the next best thing. She's somewhat the next big thing. I personally think she does have the potential to be the next big thing. One, she's a female character, so people love female characters. Two, the costume's actually a pretty cool costume, so you could do a lot with the costume. And if she ends up being a cool character, she could be one of the next hot characters, especially since her first appearance is in a rare book. So that book, you could see it rise up in prices. So who knows? This could be a possibility to spec on a book, especially that Amazing Spider-Man. Which Amazing Spider-Man was it again that you said?
From the most recent run, it's 14.
14. So from the most recent run, issue 14. I know that's a special cover with her. So that's the one that people are really searching for. So good stuff there. Next book is another book that I think is definitely hot on the spec market, but I think if Hallows Eve is going to have 1 billion copies, I think this book is also going to have 1 billion copies. So Cosmic Ghost Rider, #1. All right. He's back, baby. Frank Castle. This is the part that always cracks me up, that this is Frank Castle. Because I was never into Cosmic Ghost Rider. I wasn't reading it at the time. Another book by Stephanie Phillips. So she's doing double duty.
Very impressive.
Yeah. So we'll see how she's doing with this version of Ghost Rider. But there are some really cool covers for this book. And, again, it's another Ghost Rider story, but this is, Cosmic Ghost Rider is a Ghost Rider from the future. So I'm curious to see how this book is. So do you have any information regarding Cosmic Ghost Rider?
No, I've never been a huge Ghost Rider person.
Not even Cosmic Ghost Rider?
Not even Cosmic Ghost Rider.
What about the next book? Spider-Gwen. This is the first time I actually see that they use the term Spider-Gwen rather than Ghost Spider. Did they just give in?
Her first book, she was the Unstoppable Spider-Gwen. That they did use her name there, but then they switched it around. She became Ghost Spider. That was the title of her book. So it's been a back and forth.
Well, I understand why they had to change the name, because who's gonna come up? Who's gonna save the universe named as Spider-Gwen? It's like, how are we gonna keep her secret identity secret if she's calling herself Spider-Gwen?
Right, and she's from a different universe, so there's no reason why she would call herself Spider-Gwen instead of Spider-Girl.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's the title of the book. Who cares?
Yeah. Shadow Clone. So that book is out. There's a couple of variants for that book as well. Check it out. Let's take a look at some of the other books that are coming out for Marvel as well. So another book here, we got Spider-Man Unforgiven #1. Could this be the next Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man book? Who
No.
knows? You said no.
This is a one shot, and has to do with vampires. So no,
I thought it was a Metallica version of Spider-Man.
maybe
Just get him
maybe
looking
that's
like
also
James
true.
Hetfield. Give him one of those mustaches, right? All right. Then we have I Am Iron Man #1. This one actually looks like a fun book to own. I don't know. I wouldn't call it a spec book, but it is a #1. So every #1 is a spec book. It's all depending on what the story is going to be, guys. It has nothing to do. It's a #1, but if the story's worth it, then it might have some potential. This one is kind of like an origin story for Tony Stark. So who knows? And a title like I Am Iron Man, of course, they're playing a riff off the Black Sabbath song. So there you have that one. Our next book in the list is Murder World, Game Over, Issue 1. Now, don't let the #1 fool you. This is the end of the Murder World storyline. So each issue of Murder World is technically a one-shot, but it's all part of a continuing thread story. Where Arcade is the main villain, and this is really more of an Arcade story rather than a Wolverine story or a Spider-Man story or whatever other characters was part of the Murder World. So that's the last part of it. Some people enjoy it, some people don't enjoy it. Personally, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't mean anything to me. Next book is Venom issue #17. That book is coming out this week. So again, another Eddie Brock. Now, there is a rumor that he will no longer be Venom. I call that a lie.
well, we had a 10-minute conversation about how Peter and MJ aren't together. So would you put it past them?
It's Al Ewing writing it, so I don't know. I think
he has
they
his
do.
editor. His editor makes decisions for him.
Well, at the same time, they do things to make you buy a book, right? So they'll say, "This is the last time Eddie Brock's going to be Venom," and this is where I say, we know you're lying, guys. We know it. We know you're lying. You know what I'm saying?
A little misdirection never hurt anyone.
Yeah, except for the people that buy it with the thought that's the case. So anyway, moving forward, X-Force 38, Spider-Man. Nope, Spider-Man. It's hard to say. Spider-Man issue #6, Ghost Rider 12, Captain America: Sentinel of Liberty issue #10 is also out this week, and our Star Wars books. We got a lot of Star Wars books this week, man. We got issue 32, The Mandalorian issue #8, Han Solo and Chewbacca issue #10, and I think there's more. All right, and we have Hidden Empire issue #4 and The High Republic, The Blade issue #3. Out of all these books, which is the one that interests you the most?
Probably The Blade, but they're all kind of hitting high points right now. The Blade is just like, if you like the samurai aspect of Jedi, that's the one you got to get.
Mm-hmm. Cool, awesome. So there you have it from our Star Wars guy right now. That's Josh. He's our Star Wars expert. Let's go with DC Comics. DC Comics is in the run. They're head and head with Marvel, man. 17 versus 16. Woohoo! Go figure. But with DC, there are some books that are definitely worth checking out. Starting with our first book, which is the two #1s we have. We have Shazam: Fury of the Gods special. Shamily Matters #1. Why did they have to go there? Shamily. Oh, just say the Shazam family, man. Could it be so hard to say Shazam family? I'm just saying.
It's Shazamily.
Oh gosh. What's your thoughts on this movie?
I mean, I think I'm pretty sure I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna like it. I really like the first one. Mm-hmm. People are always complaining that movies are too dark and gritty, so go watch Shazam. Like, what's your problem? Anyway.
Well, have you seen the first one? There's some dark and gritty moments in that movie.
Oh, okay, yes. Like, that's the nature of telling a story about orphans, but at the end of the day, it was no Zack Snyder, okay? So, I don't know. I'm looking forward to part 2.
Okay, yeah, so am I. I personally like Zachary Levi in this role. He does a good job. I'm a little sad that we didn't get a John Cena Shazam. especially since we were getting a Rock Black Adam. That would have been like perfect. Just have them fight, and
Yeah.
it'll be like a WrestleMania 3 moment. You know what I mean? The third match, but this time in the movie. So, um, sure. I don't know what to say about this book. I don't have high hopes for this book. I do have high hopes for the movie. I did pick up my ticket, so I am officially going to see the movie when it comes out on Thursday. I might give you guys a little spoiler review if anything. We'll talk a little bit about that. All right, but the next book here is another book is DC RWBY. I think it's something else, but this has to deal with this is a crossover, right? So the RWBY. Do you know what that's about?
Yeah, it's an anime. There might even be a manga, but it's an anime. It's been around for a little bit. It's got 4 characters in it. They've got some abilities. So if you like anime, if you like the Justice League, you got both of them in one book.
All right. And the RWBY is the initials of the characters, the 4 characters that you see in the image here.
Right. It's
Right.
a play on colors: red, white, blue, yellow. So
okay, Ruby, Wise, Blake, and Yang. But it's okay. I see it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. A book that I think everybody should pick up. That's Action Comics 1051. We're continuing Superman. Who would have thought in the year 2023 that Superman was going to be this hot? Did you guess that?
There's nothing wrong with Superman.
I didn't say it wasn't.
So there's no reason to think why he wouldn't be.
Well, after what we did with Henry Cavill, well, what they did to Henry Cavill. You're in, you're out. You're in, you're out. Oh yeah, you're out.
I mean, we live in the world where people are like clamoring for Peacemaker dolls. So like anything is possible. I think that I think there's nothing people complain about Superman, whatever. It's cool or it's edgy to say that he's a Boy Scout and he's uninteresting. I think that's sort of a loud minority. I think people who like comics, they like superheroes. There's no reason not to like Superman. And so if you market him correctly, if you do the character right, he's going to have good stories. People are going to buy it.
Cool. The other thing about Superman that I think is really cool in this book, in Action Comics, it is an anthology series. So you're going to get 3 stories for the price of 1. That's always cool. You got The House of Metallo, which is the first story. Home Again, which is the second one. And my favorite one is Head Like a Hole, man. For you 9 Inch Nails fan, man. All right. So that's coming out. Again, there's a lot of covers for this one too. I think this book has a lot of people buzzing about. A lot of people have been buying this book. Another book that it fizzles out a little bit, but I think it's still relatively hot, are the detective comic books. So Detective 1069 is out this week. I personally love the covers. I think the covers are really cool. They're really creative. That book is coming out this week. Also coming out this week, Batman versus Robin, issue number 5. We're going to continue from the Lazarus Planet storyline, which I don't know how it ended up. It was fine. It wasn't the greatest thing. It was just too much one shot, too much first appearance, too much. Where did the story take us? Well, it took us back to square one for many of them, right? It's like, yeah, that's not how you write stories. You write stories.
True.
Well,
you didn't read them. I know you didn't read them.
I read some of them.
You didn't read them, dude.
Yeah, I read the first one and I read the second one, and I was like, eh. But then I do know that a lot of people went back to being themselves. So,
you mean like they didn't keep like whatever happened to them in the rain?
Exactly.
Okay, that's I think
did
that's
it
like
move the needle? That's my question. Did it move the needle?
So here's what I'll say about Lazarus Planet. They introduced. I read most of the one shots. Introduced me to 3 new characters that I'm picking up their books when they launch later this year. And that's Xanthi, City Boy, and the Vigil. It's like a superhero team. So the fact that they got me to buy the one shots and then buy the next book, I think that's a win.
But did you buy the one shots with the idea that they're gonna be big characters in the future, and this is kind of like their way of doing it?
No, I bought the books because I wanted to see what was happening with these other characters, like the Titans and Zatanna, stuff like that. And then at the same time, they have 3 stories in each one. I was like, oh, here's a new character that I had no idea about. Now I want to read their book. That's like exactly what they wanted to achieve, and it worked for me.
Cool. Awesome. Let's go to our next book, which is The Human Target. This is from the Black Label. This book we're on issue 12. Again, he's drawing closer to his death, the Christopher Chance character. He has 12 days left, and he needs to solve his own murder. I hear a lot of good things. I see here from Cole. He's loving it, man. It's going to be a banger. Yeah, exactly. So pick that book up, Tom King. Really, Tom King writing, a book that people want to read instead of a book that's going to depress you. So, but the guy's about to die, so I guess he sticks to his depressive state. So there you have it. Moving on to Harley Quinn issue number 27. That's coming out. Riddler year 1 issue number 3. All right. It is one of his favorite books. I see that. All right. Okay. Tim Drake, Robin issue number 6 is coming out. Now, what's interesting about this book is that I'm not going to go over it, but we have 2 very different covers. You have this one. What was that?
Are they on your pull list?
No. But you have this cover here with Tim Drake and his current partner, Bernard. And then the other cover, if they really want to just stick it to people, right? This is what's interesting, right? This cover is the cover with Bernard, right? The other cover is Robin, Tim Drake Robin with spoiler.
Maybe it's
that's like really sticking it to people right there. If you know what I'm talking about.
Maybe they're doing like a vote. Like if the spoiler cover really outsells this cover, then that'll be the love interest.
We'll see. Next book is Stargirl, The Lost Child, issue number 4. Then we have Punchline, Gotham Gain, the Gotham Gain, issue number 5. DC Horror presents Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead, issue number 6. Batman Gotham Knights, Glided City, issue number 5. Blue Beetle, Graduation Day, issue number 4. How you been enjoying Blue Beetle so far?
It's good. The stakes are rising. The Justice League is kind of hovering around the edges. So we're getting like a new Beetle every issue. So this one, I hope they don't do the thing that a lot of comics do, which is that they introduce all these things, and then the last issue they have to tie everything up in like 3 panels.
like a Disney Plus series.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, wait a minute, there's 1 episode left, and there's like 10 plot threads. What's going to happen? And then you watch the last episode, and it's like,
and you did it all to yourselves. No one told you had to do that many, right?
Right.
So, oh well. Let's hope the best, because, like you said, it's been a fun story. All right, the next book is The Sandman Universe, The Dead Boy Detectives, issue number 3. That's out. Batman, The Audio Adventures, issue number 5. If anybody wants to read it, you go ahead and read it, and then you can listen to it. Good stuff. All right. Those were your DC books. It's time for Image. Image also has a light week. We only have 6 titles for Image. What do you think? Not bad, right?
That's like 1/3 of the...
But we have a new book coming out this week. It's called Phantom Road, issue number 1. This is by Jeff Lemire. So, for those of you that are Jeff Lemire fans, here's another title for you. Phantom Road, Ordinary Gods, issue number 10. Savage Dragon 264, Radiant Black 22. And I Hate This Place, issue number 6, and The Walking Dead Deluxe, issue 58. Those are your books for Image Comics. And over at the indie side, indie's kind of quiet too. It's not as exciting this week. But Boom Studios has 2 titles. Dark Horse has 5 titles. IDW has 3 titles. Antarctic Press has 6 titles. Scott has 6 titles. And Dynamite Entertainment also has 4 titles. Now, something I didn't mention to all of you is that delays do happen. So you may get the book. They may be there. They may not be there. It does occur from time to time again. Right? Especially when it comes to indie titles. So with indie titles, you want to be cautious that book may not be available. Right. Look, I'm looking forward to a light week. Yeah, same here. But there's some good, I think there's some good titles there to pick up. So I like going to a comic book store where I know I could just pick up 5 books and then I could walk out. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it. I don't like it when I have to pick from 20 titles. That drives me nuts. All right, let's kick things off with Boom Studios, Magic the Gathering issue 24, and Buffy the Last Vampire Slayer special issue number 1. Over at Dark Horse, we have 5 titles. We got Where Monsters Lie issue number 2, Star Wars Hyperspace Stories number 4, Coche in Hell. That's how you say it. If I got it wrong, I'm sorry. All right. Castle Full of Blackbirds issue number 4, and a new title, Skull and Bones Savage Storm issue number 1. All right. Yes. Yeah, I agree with you. Scott and Antarctic have some titles, but Antarctic Press, they seem to always front load their titles early. So you'll see it's the same 6 books that it's always at the same time. Okay. IDW, Sonic the Hedgehog 58, My Little Pony issue 10, and Breath of Shadows issue number 2. Over in Antarctic Press, again, they're just continuing their runs. Horror Comics 20, World War III, Raid on Tokyo issue number 3, Exciting Comics issue 31. Excuse me. Planet Comics issue number 15, Jungle Comics issue 13, Magazine issue number 8, and Comics by the Bay. Yep, My Little Pony. That book sells, man. My Little Pony sells. I got to give it to it. So you got to pick up My Little Pony. My daughter used to love picking up. I got a whole bunch of My Little Pony comics, but they're in their boxes, not mine.
Sell them.
I don't think these are not worth selling, dude.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of 1.5. That's the grade on some of these. Maybe even less.
Got it.
You get my point? All right. Oh. Over at Scott Comics, you have Darkland issue number 3, Dead Fellows number 1. That one sounds pretty interesting. Road Trip to Hell issue number 3. Winter Fallout issue 3, Category 0 Conflict issue number 3, and Thug Double Vision issue number 4. Those are your Scott comic books. All right, Dynamite Entertainment. You got Darkwing Duck Facsimile Edition issue number 1, Unbreakable Red Sonja issue number 4, Purgatory Must Die issue 3, Barbarella The Center Cannot Hold number 1. That is a very interesting title for a book. The Center Cannot Hold. Huh. I wonder why they went with cannot instead of just saying can't.
Yes. I think it's a reference to something else.
Probably is. Yeah. Who knows, right? And then we have some more indie titles. AWA Upshot. Comics by the Bay. Yay. I'm still a G before Homeboy though. All right. Red Zone number 1. This book is, a lot of people have been talking about this book. I've been hearing a lot of good things about this book. So I'm interested in picking that book up when it comes out. Oz Return of Wicked Witch from Zenscope. Aftershock has All Night and Every Day issue number 1. Over at Mad Cave, you got Hunt, Kill, Repeat issue number 1. That one should be interesting. I'm interested in picking that one up as well. Merc Publishing, Born of Blood issue number 5. Another indie comic, Artist Elite Presents issue number 6. Over at Sumerian, Rock and Roll Hell number 1. And Storm King has John Carpenter's Tales of Science Fiction, The Envoy number 1. So those are some of your indie books, and I believe there's one more list here. Blood Moon Comics got Titan Mouse of Might, Hollowed number 1 over at Keen Spot, and Dren Publication has I can't make this stuff up, Flesh Eating Cheerleaders from Outer Space.
Oh yeah,
that sounds like a big book.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the spec of the week. Well, it'll definitely sell. There's other variants of that book. I'll tell you that much.
There's a market for that.
What was that?
There's a market for that.
Oh, there's definitely a market for that book. And then from Bad Bug, you have Hypergeist issue number 2. I believe those are all the books from the pull list. So good stuff there. What do you think? It's a nice light week, but it's a good week. I'm happy for that.
This is the calm before the storm.
Agreed. Woo-hoo. All right, let's go with the pull list here. So let's get that ready. While we do that, let me pull up the pull list for your list because we both have a pull list. And I'm going to get yours ready so we can see what you got. And there is a book that's on your list that we didn't cover, but we'll talk about it in a second. But let's do our picks of the week. Alrighty then. So here are your picks of the week. So let's go ahead and shrink this up and make it nice bigger for everyone to see it a little better.
What is this? A pull list for ants?
All right. So we talked a little bit about Blue Beetle. So Blue Beetle Graduation Day, issue 4. I gotta shrink this a little bit because it's still a little. There we go. That's a lot better. You got Star Wars issue number 32. Is this the 40?
That is, yes, that's one of the 40th anniversary covers.
Why it looks a little different?
So some preview images have the border and some don't. Why? You got to ask the editors.
But that was the whole point behind how cool it was to make that collection happen.
No. The book will have the proper border, but
okay,
the preview image that you find on the internet is not always going to have it.
All right, I see what you mean. And you picked the Peach Momoka, Han Solo, and Chewbacca cover. I could tell that.
Yeah,
the reason behind that.
Well, it's Women's History Month, I think. So she's doing a couple of covers like this. So yeah, I saw this one. Definitely liked it better than the A cover, so I'm gonna get it.
Cool, awesome. And then Hidden Empire issue number 4. You got this cover. This is the cover you picked.
Yep, I've got the other connecting covers, so we continue on to connect the covers.
All right, cool. And then the Blade, you definitely picked the Blade issue number 3. Yep. You have Action Comics 1051, Detective Comics 1069, and Hallows Eve number 1. You got the Art Germ cover. I see.
You got the Art Germ cover. I think this is there was a lot of good covers.
Yeah, this is the trade dress though.
Yes, there's a version of this one which will set you back a pretty penny.
All right, and Spider-Gwen, Spider Clones. This is the Bengal variant.
Yes, so I prefer Spider-Gwen with her hood on because otherwise she looks like every other Marvel DC woman. But so I pick up this cover. There's another one that looks really good, Action Pose.
Cool. And I see a book here called No Spell Lasts Forever. That is an indie title, and this is as indie gets, right?
This book is so indie I couldn't even find it for sale online. So we'll do a little bit of hunting. It may have been pushed back with no announcement. But that's why we have the pull list to keep track of what we were trying to find.
So why did you pick No Spell Lasts Forever?
So this is a story. I think it's a prestige format, so it's like a $10 book. It's about something to do with magic. I forgot, but I read the preview and it seemed cool. I don't think the creators are well known, at least not to me. But I heard the concept and I like that format, so I wanted to pick it up.
Awesome. All right, so that's your pull. I see that your total value is $49.91. That's not bad.
Just under the magical $50 mark.
All right, so let's get rid of this screen and let's go into my pull screen. And now my pull list is slightly different than Josh's because we talked a lot about the comics, but what we're going to do with this pull list really is we're going to talk more so about the variants that are out. So for this list, I decided to pick some really cool variants that I thought would have been really, really cool to have. So the first one I picked, now if you're familiar with comics, you are familiar with this cover of Flash 123. This is the MegaCon 2023 foil variant. So you're only going to be able to pick up this book if you are at MegaCon, which I will not be. So, but it's coming out this weekend. If you're there, if you're at MegaCon, pick it up. If you want to get me a copy, by all means, give me a copy. If you're going to MegaCon, get me a copy. I think it'll be going for like 40 there. So you can pick it up. I'm gonna double check to see if we can pick it up online. But I would love to have a foil edition of this book. The next book here is the David Mack Captain America Sentinel of Liberty. I just think this is a cool cover.
Mhm.
In my personal opinion, I think it's one of the coolest covers out there. So I really like it. Then you have the Rogue Gambit #1. Now, I picked this cover because it is a 90s throwback cover to me.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It reminds me of Jim Lee. It reminds me of Tom McFarlane, especially that Spider-Man. That Spider-Man is taken directly from a Tom McFarlane.
Mhm.
And Carrie Andrews did the artwork, which I do enjoy. The Cosmic Ghost Rider book that I picked was the John Gian book. This is an exclusive variant. You could pick it up at Big Time Collectibles. There's still those available, books available. You can get it for like I think $30 the version variant. There are also graded versions of this book, so you could get that book as well. Oh wow, Sam, you're gonna be at MegaCon, man. That's awesome. Good for you, man. I'm not making it to MegaCon. That's over out in Florida, and I'm not doing that flight. But if you see that flash book, man, let me know. Let me know. Um, this one you can get at Big Time Collectibles, the Cosmic Ghost Rider, and like I said, you get 10% off with Izzyverse 10. So you use the promo code. Take advantage of that. Next book is the other Cosmic Ghost Rider. This is the Felipe Massa Ferreira variant. I thought it was really cool. It makes me think of Thor for some reason. I see it looks like a Thor cover. I don't know if it's done on purpose, but it is. This is the other Cosmic Ghost Rider. Is it? Oh, this was the Stegman one, the Ryan Stegman. But I actually like the John Gian better. It's a better looking cover. I saw multiple Hallows Eve covers. This is the Stormbreaker variant, which I think is interesting. And then of course the Art Germ, like you picked, the Art Germ cover. Spider Gwen Shadow Clones is the Peach Momoka variant, and the Ivan Thal variant. Right? We call them the drip covers. So I did pick up a drip cover. I'm interested in picking up this one too. So I'm debating it. But it's definitely a book that I'm interested in. Another book that I saw that was really cool was the Spider-Man Unforgiven cover. This is the Stormbreaker variant. I just think it looks cool,
Yeah.
right? And of course, the Negative Space Action Comics 1051, but the Virgin as well. That's a 1 in 50 variant. And finally, a book that when I saw it, I was like, this looks cool. Detective Comics 1069, the 1 in 25 Colin Dorian cover. For those of you who don't know who's Colin Dorian, he's been in the business since forever. Right? And this cover is pretty cool. I think it's a cool cover.
Cover sold out.
Already?
Yeah.
There you go. But it might be in the stores. So check your LCSs to see if that's the case. All right. A lot of good stuff, a lot of good books. My total is $59.98. Not bad, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's not counting the 1 in 50s, right? Is it?
Well, yeah, exactly. They don't count how much the 1 in 50 is going to be worth at the store. It's because each store makes their choice of how much they're going to sell them for.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still the cover price, but who knows? Who cares at the end of the day, right? So last we checked, we had what was our hashtag? Oh yeah, Bubble Boy Josh.
Bubble.
All right. Bubble Boy Josh. Is there anything I need to point out? Okay, so with our hashtag Bubble Boy Josh, not Bibble Boy. I'm trying to write it again. Bubble Boy. It's okay, man. It's okay. All right. So we have 6 entries for Bubble Boy. We're gonna give away the Superman #1. That's the one we're gonna give away here. This one here, the Simon Beach book. And let's take a look at who's gonna win it today. So it's giveaway time, guys. Woohoo! So the hashtag is Bubble Boy Josh. So we're gonna give you a few minutes. Well, not even a few minutes, a couple of seconds. If you are watching on IG, go to YouTube and go put hashtag Bubble Boy Josh. If you saw last week's episode, you know what we're talking about here. So, Josh, what's the book that you have in the background?
I actually have a couple books, so we'll start with this one.
Okay.
This is number 7 out of 40. Out of 40 covers I'm trying to collect for the 40th anniversary celebration of Return of the Jedi. So we are, I guess, like almost 20% of the way there. I have also here, it's upside down, so it does not fall out. I got this cover from one of the
Yeah,
Library's Planet books.
that's
This
the Dreamer cover, right?
That's the Dreamer cover. I have here also the last issue of the fan favorite series, Spider-Man Double Trouble, with Thanos. So, uh, thank you, limited series, for bringing us joy, and also this Inferno Red cover.
Awesome, cool, good stuff. All right, so yeah, I got my Dreamer right here. So Dreamer number one, I have it here. So
Nice.
that's pretty cool. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that in one of our giveaway boxes when we start doing our members. So this could very well be our last giveaway from the show in its current format. So moving
Wow.
forward, we're going to put
Would you say this is a key?
well, it is Superman number one, so I'm gonna say it is a key. It is the Federici, right? Riccardo Federici. All right, that's what this one is. It's this one I'm gonna give away. But moving forward, we're gonna be doing the giveaways using the memberships. And what's gonna be important about the memberships here is that the giveaways are gonna be even of greater value. So we'll do that. There'll be some original art pieces as well that we'll be giving away, and there's a lot of stuff. So wait and see when it comes to the membership stuff, because I'm really excited to it. I know Josh and I were talking earlier to this afternoon about it and what we're planning to do with it. So good stuff. So let's find out who wins. We had 6 entries, so let's make the drawings.
You're entered again.
Yeah, I did that so to show people, but if I win, then I pass it up. Flick 68, congratulations. All right, so Flick, in order for you to get your giveaway, please reach out to me over in IG Izzyverse NYC, and we'll discuss how we will send you this beautiful cover. So congratulations once again to Flick 68. The book is yours, man. It's ready to go. Congrats, man. Definitely congrats. So we'll put that up. Josh, whoo, there you are. I see you now, Flick. So, Josh, where are you going to be doing tomorrow?
Same thing we do every Tuesday night, Pinky. Try to sell some comics.
All right. And how are you going to sell them?
You can go to whatnot.com/Josh Cabrera to check out my store. You can sign up using this code to get 15 free dollars. I have a bunch of limited sets and lots ready to go, lined up on a table. You can bid on any of them. It's going to be a great time.
Awesome. And again, you can use this QR code if you've never used Whatnot before. Whatnot is an auction house similar to eBay, but they do perform live auctions. Josh is going to be doing his live auction on Tuesdays at 9:30, right? 9:30?
9:30 Eastern.
9:30. Yep. And if you never purchase anything, I'll give you $15 on the house just for doing that. And you don't have to buy from Josh. You can buy for whatever you want and use that $15. It's my gift to you as a watcher of the show. So thanks for watching. Another thing I'm giving to everybody is BCW supplies. If you need some supplies for your comics, boxes, boards, whatever, BCW supplies is where you can get them, and use the promo code Izzyverse for 10% off. Also, if you need to buy some comic books, and ComicXposure is your place to go as well. Online, you get 15% off with promo code Izzyverse. And again, I'm glad to announce that we now have an affiliation with Big Time Collectibles. You get 10% off with promo code Izzyverse10, guys. That's going to be a blast. Go ahead and get your books, man. That Cosmic Ghost Rider is still there. Get it for 10% off. That's my point. All right. And then, of course, with Bronx Anime Comic Expo, 50% off your purchase. It is now on August 26th from 9 a.m. to 4 o'clock. I plan on being there. Josh, you plan on being there, right?
I'll be there.
He'll be there. Be there or be square. All right. So that's going to be the show. That's all we got for you. Josh, where can people find you?
You can follow me on Instagram, Cabrera_Josh.
And as you can see, I'm Izzyverse NYC. You can find me here on IG, on Twitter. I do have a what's that other place? TikTok. I got that TikTok going on for me. All right, that's where you get the nice little dances. There you go, Ramon. How you doing, man? You came in now. All right. So we got a lot of stuff going on, guys, but it's been a blast. Thank you for watching the show. We'll see you next time. Oh, look who's going to be there. Ramon's going to be there too. Good stuff, man. We got a lot of stuff there, man. We'll see you next time. And until then, Excelsior. Don't forget to watch the shows. Bitten Apples going on right as we speak.